To session 4, is it 4-3 of our Crafty Tales and Fun, and today we are going to be reading The Best Dress Ever, which is one of my favourites. So today we are going to be thinking about what would be the best dress or the best t-shirt or the best outfit ever, and we're going to be introduced to these three aliens, and we're going to find out what they think is the best dress ever. Hello to everybody who I can see who's joining us live, everybody who's joining on catch up. And my first game for you today is I have an alien picture, and there are 7 differences that you need to spot. So I'm going to give you a minute to see whether or not you can spot all 7 differences. Are you ready? 1 minute, off we go. So absolutely, in the little alien igloo, there's some legs, and there's not any legs. The alien at the front looks very different. So one picture they're very big, and in another picture they're quite small. We have a cloud missing. We have, it's like sort of a, I'm not sure what it is, like an alien, sort of flying alien heart thing is missing. Shall we go through them and see all of the different ones? So we have got, first of all, we can see that the little legs are missing. The flame is a different colour. The alien is a different size. The spaceship is a different colour. The cloud is missing. The other alien heart is missing. And also, which I don't think is ringed round here, the ring needs to be scooched up a bit. So it's not the stones. So the stones are missing here. But also, some of you have spotted that the green of the plant on the other side is different. So actually, there's 8 differences, but there's only 7 on here that have been ringed. But I didn't notice that one myself. Spot the differences are really hard sometimes, aren't they? You can like look at something for ages and not see that there is a difference when there is. So well done to everybody, and who got all 8 without even realising there were 8. So we're going to read the best dress ever. Up in space, there was a planet called Dupe. On Dupe, there lived 3 aliens. They were called Zid, Yoff, and Mab. On Monday, Zid had an idea. I'm going to make the best dress ever, said Zid. Good idea, said Yoff. Come back and show us, suggested Mab. Zid went off to make the best dress ever. Yoff and Mab waited. On Tuesday, Zid came back. What do you think? Zid asked. It's a good start, said Yoff. It might be better if you could see, suggested Mab. Zid went off to keep working on the best dress ever. Yoff and Mab waited. On Wednesday, Zid came back. "What do you think?" Zid asked. "It's getting there," said Yoff. "It might be even better if you could walk more easily," suggested Mab. Zid went off to keep working on the best dress ever. Yoff and Mab waited. On Thursday, Zid came back. "What do you think?" Zid asked. "It's okay," said Yoff. "It would be good if you could use your arms," suggested Mab. Zid went off to keep working on the best dress ever. Yoff and Mab waited. On Friday, Zid came back. "What do you think?" Zid asked. "It's good," said Yoff. "If you add some decorations, it will be really special," suggested Mab. On Saturday, Zid showed Yoff and Mab the finished dress. "It's the best dress ever," said Yoff and Mab. "I couldn't have done it without your help," said Zid, "so I made you both one too." On Sunday, the three best friends had the best time in the three best dresses ever. So I really like that story, and I like it for a particular reason, which I'm going to share in a minute. But can you remember the different stages of the story? So Zid seems to show his dress lots and lots and lots of times, and his friends kind of give lots and lots of feedback. We don't really know why he decides to make a dress. Why not? At the end, they all have a nice dress to wear. They all play in a band. So on my screen, there are all of the different parts of the story. Can you retell the story at home, working out which picture comes first, and then second, all the way through to which picture comes last? So let's have a clue. So the first one is obviously G, which is where we have them all on their planet. And then we went to H, where you have Zid saying, "Do you know what? I'm going to make the best dress ever." We don't kind of know why, but it's a pretty cool idea. And then the first time they come back with their dress on, they can't see. Zid can't see. And so they give the feedback, "Well, it would be better if you could see." So off he goes again. And then he comes back, he can see. But then they say, "Oh, it would be better." Can we remember? It would be better if you could walk properly. So I always imagine at this point of the story how Zid would have been walking. Can you get up and act out? How would Zid be walking if he was tripping up? My children do this all the time. They tend to put lots of blankets on them while they're in the lounge, and then they get up and they walk to get something. Can you act out how that might look? There'll be lots of shuffling and falling over, but it kind of does just look at that point like a blanket with a head through the top. And then he comes back. I like this part of the dress. I think this would be actually my favourite. I like the fact that it's got these big sleeves, but the feedback is it would be better if you could use your hands. And then it comes back. He comes back with the perfect looking dress, but the feedback is it's a bit white and boring. And so then Zid comes back with this beautiful dress with lots of moons and stars on it. And then he's made one for all his friends. Which one out of those three are your favourite? I like Zid's dress because I like purple and I like all the blue. And I imagine that it glows in the dark for some reason because I've read this story quite a lot of times. And I always imagine Zid's dress does glow in the dark. So well done if you got that right. But my first question is, why do you think Zid keeps trying? He tries and he doesn't maybe quite get it right. And they, keeps trying over and over and over and over again. Why do they keep trying? I think Zid shows a growth mindset, which is where they think, wow, it doesn't matter. I haven't got it quite right yet. The power of yet. I think, if my friends kept saying, well, it would be better if you did this, and it would be better if you did that, I think by the time I'd end up probably crying and throwing the dress on the floor and giving up. How many of you think you'd do that? I definitely would do that. Every time I went to work, people said to me, well, it's all right, but it'd be better if you did it this way, and it would be better if you did it that way, and it would be better if you did it this way. And I think Zid keeps trying because he's keen to listen to his friends' feedback, and wants to kind of get it right, the best it could possibly be. As long as that's what Zid wants to do, because as I said, I quite like it when it has the long sleeves. As long as Zid agrees, so you can always agree. You don't have to always agree with feedback that you're given, but he does keep on trying because he wants to make it better and better and better. And I keep saying he. I mean, obviously the alien might be a she. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, does it? It's about the fact that Zid keeps trying and keeps putting lots and lots of effort into making the best dress ever. And so how could you be more like Zid? We talk about this sort of all the time in our house. So my eldest plays a lot of cricket to quite a high level. And sometimes if he's having a bad day and his coach says to him, well, you could have done this better, or you could have done that better, well, that wasn't quite good. He can often take it to heart and get very upset. And sometimes I say to him, but your coach is doing it to try and make you even better. It's not a personal thing. It's about how it can help you grow. So it's really hard sometimes when lots of people maybe try and give you feedback. Or my daughter's a bit like that. If she likes to be very independent and she likes to, at the moment she has it in her head that she wants to know all her times tables. And if she gets one wrong, she gets really cross if I point it out. And I say, but it's cool, it's fine. I'm really chilled about it. It's fine to get things wrong. That shows you're learning. And so maybe we could all be a bit more like Zid. And, not worry if we're given advice, or you don't always have to take the advice or not take anything sort of personally, to think about how it might help you grow. So I think it's a really good story for that reason. Now, what can you do to sort of after this? Well, if you really wanted to do something a bit less crafty, because we're not all we don't all have to be crafty, then you can go and download this amazing board game called The Best Dress Ever. It's got lots of little questions and dice and some counters, and you could go and play that. But this week's I've got two options for you as to what you can do. So the first thing is you can find this resource, and it's linked in the copy in this video, which allows you to download and print Zid and decorate Zid's dress. Now, I don't have to show you how to do that because I want you to be really creative. So I'm not going to do it alongside with you like I did last week where we made a bug. Because I want you to be really, really creative, and you might want to design Zid's dress on your own, on a bit of scrap first. What I do have one I made earlier. This is not mine. This is my daughter's, but this is my daughter's design for Zid. So she liked the idea of having lots of multicoloured stripes because she thought it would look really, really, really vibrant. But she also wanted a bit of pattern, so she used pattern work down here. And up here, she wanted it to look really bright, so she used lots of felt tips. And down here, she started to sort of move from felt tips down to colouring pencils to make it look a bit less vibrant. So she was sort of wanted it to sort of flow nicely. So that was her idea. That's what she did when we did this session, when I did this session with my young people earlier on this week. So that's her design to decorate Zid's dress. However, you might not want to do that. You might want to do something else, which is something else that I've got that I can go through as another option, is you could download a t-shirt. And you can think about all of the things we're talking about of, that you work on and things about yourself. And you can take, so like Zid has obviously made a dress that fits with their kind of personality and what they like. You could design your own t-shirt. And you can, what I've done is I've sort of chopped the t-shirt into little pieces, and you can do little designs on your t-shirt. So on one shoulder, you can do some decoration and drawing that depicts your favourite hobby. On the other side of your t-shirt, what depicts your favourite animal. And then on the chest part, you could do your self-portrait. And down the bottom, you can then, I've just given you some different ideas. You don't have to follow these, but you could have your favourite food. You could have your favourite book. You could have your favourite place in the world. You could maybe have some of your siblings or your pets or your grown-ups or a special friends or some drawings of what you, some of those there. You could maybe put some homemade things I enjoy. So I know some of you go to forest school, some of you go to a farm thing. Lots of you go to various things I see all the time, some amazing things that you go to. You could maybe do some of those bits. Maybe your favourite subject, so things that you like reading about or learning about. 3 words that describe me, so you could always do some writing and write down some words that describe you. And maybe my favourite saying. So you may have a favourite saying. You may not, but I was sat there thinking, I have my favourite saying is, well-behaved women rarely make history. So that's my favourite saying. So if I was making this t-shirt, that would be the saying that I would have, because that's my favourite saying. But you might have something in your family that everybody says. So like my son always says, I really like being all snuggly buggly. When he puts all his back to the blankets on the sofa and he's reading, he goes, oh, I'm all snuggly buggly. So you might have a favourite saying, but if not, as I said, this isn't a definitive thing. But you could do this for a really long time and design beautifully your own bespoke t-shirt. And you can go as far as you want with this. So it depends on what your grown-ups say, but you can get some amazing pens that you can draw on, fabric with, depends on how big a project you want to do, but you could even design your own t-shirt for real life. And you could even, have a go at making, like, so my daughter says she got out loads of pipe cleaners and old bits of material. She actually said she was now going to have a go at making a Zid's dress for one of her teddies. So get creative, and anything that you do, please do go and share it on our Facebook page, because in our Facebook group rather, because we love to see it. And don't forget, if you're looking for lots more ideas, then you can head over to our planning pack. The link is in the description on this live lesson. And I will see you next week for one of my favourite books, which is Little Acorns. So I will see you next week. Have a lovely week. Enjoy decorating Zid's dress or making your own personalised t-shirt. And I'll see you soon.